What is up? What is up? Hello, awesome people of the internet. Happy Saturday, y'all. Happy day 2 of women's college basketball NCAA tournament. It is a fun time where we are just enjoying game after game after game after game of women's basketball. We haven't actually seen as many upsets as I was hoping for so far. But in this stream, we're going to just give a quick sort of a recap of what has happened so far in round 1, both day 1 and today in day 2. And then we're going to do a preview of what you all can expect to happen tomorrow as we start round 2 of the NCAA tournament, where I believe there will be some upsets. All right. So we're going to get into it. What's up, Rena? What is up, JB? All right, y'all. Let's kind of first start giving a update on what has happened so far. So hopefully y'all have probably seen my video where I went through day 1, and tomorrow expect a recap on day 1. But I do want to just quickly give you all a recap of what has happened today in day 2. So there are currently some games still happening right now. So we have UNLV playing Creighton right now. Creighton is winning 65-53. We also have Gonzaga playing UC Irvine right now. Gonzaga is winning 30-25. However, UC Irvine came out to play today, and I was like, oh, are we going to see Gonzaga get upset at home for game 1? But they looks like they're getting themselves back together, and it's ending up being a really, really good game. We'll see if UC Irvine can still pull up the upset. They're losing by 5 points at halftime. So. All right, and a quick recap of some of the games that have happened so far. We saw Holy Cross lose to Iowa, of course. Iowa, rolled past Holy Cross. Though I will say Holy Cross, they weren't too bad. They were not too bad of a team, and and they put up a really good fight. Though they just didn't have it. We also saw Texas A&M Corpus Christi lose to USC. That game started off a blowout, but then Texas A&M Corpus Christi got in the game a little bit. But USC did win 87-55. We saw Notre Dame get the job done against Kent State. They won 81-67. We saw UConn beat Jackson State, though Jackson State really did put up a really good fight. I thought they really did represent the SWAC well by the way that they played, but they did lose 86-64. We saw NC State beat Chattanooga, and a ref had a conflict of interest, so that was something about that game. But NC State did win 64-45. Guys, my bracket is basically busted. Elizabeth on Twitter is saying, "How's your bracket doing?" My bracket is busted. My bracket is busted. Yeah, it is busted. Shout out to Adrian. Adrian with the super chat. Adrian says, "Quita, $10 for 10,000 subs. Awesome, people of the internet, assemble." Yes, guys, mission accomplished. We did it, y'all. We did it. 10,000 subscribers. Like, it is just so monumentous today's day. It's phenomenal. Like I was like, oh, road to 10,000 subscribers, but to be quite honest with you, I didn't think it was possible. I really didn't. But y'all are some rock stars. Y'all have been rocking with me. Y'all have been telling y'all people to check out this channel, and I really do appreciate it. Like, 10,000 subscribers is huge. I mean, in the world of YouTube, there's a ton of channels way bigger than me, bigger than I'll ever have. But but just the, I don't know. It's just kind of overwhelming and like pretty phenomenal at the same time. But y'all are the people who did that. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. We did just launch a Patreon today, so if y'all do want to rock with me there, that would be phenomenal. The Patreon folks are going to get links to videos before they actually drop on YouTube. They'll get the unlisted links before they drop. So if y'all want to rock with me there, and also if y'all want to ask like questions, we'll do like some Q&As and whatnot on the Patreon as well. So if y'all want to rock with me there, y'all can do that. If not, don't worry about it. I will still be here on YouTube, rocking with y'all here. All right. Yes. Shawnee says, I love what Gino said about the coach of Jackson State today. Yeah. He was really giving her props. Like the thing about I could say this about mid majors, about HBCUs. They don't get the respect that they deserve. They don't. And especially the coaches. You know, Jackson State was undefeated. And in conference play, they won their conference, and it's like they still don't really get the respect. They're killing the competition. Jackson State is doing their thing, and I think a lot of times when you have coaches be successful at a HBCU, at a mid-major school, they don't really get the props like they deserve. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like no one's really talking about them. And then when you see people get fired, right? You see lots of people getting fired in the Power Five. When that happens, all we do is just recycle the same coaches who, you know, go to different Power Five schools, and there's not as much upward movement of some of the mid majors who are doing great stuff, giving them a look. And that was basically what Gino was sort of talking about. And I was like, man, yeah, that's right. That is absolutely right. We're seeing the rise of the mid majors. We're seeing players show up. You know, we're seeing coaches outsmart the quote unquote better coach, because the better coach is at a Power Five. Jackson State lost to UConn, but Jackson State put on a really good fight. You know, I thought they put on a really good fight. So, you know, I'm just saying. All right. Thank you so much, J Boog. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. J Boog says, congrats on 10K. Woo. It's kind of crazy. All right. So there's a lot of talk. Okay. I see a lot of talk in the comments about Iowa. I see a lot of comments in the chat about Iowa. Iowa won. I think, Caitlin seems tired. I don't know. It feels like she is like, yeah. John says, I agree. She does look burnt out. She's tired. I don't know. She's tired. She's frustrated. She was really mad. She was really mad at the refs today. She was very, very, very mad at the refs. But you know, her team still got it done. Still got it done. Shout out to Holly. Thank you so much, Holly, for the super chat. Holly says $10 for the 10K. So happy for you, Quita. It's only up from here. Fire emojis. Appreciate you, Holly. I really do. I really do appreciate you. Y'all are the MVPs of this channel. Y'all really are. Y'all really are. But yeah, there's more talk about about Iowa. RC says, I'm looking past the hate. It's the only thing that keeps my sanity. I feel bad for the crap she has to deal with sometimes. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it can't be easy. It cannot be easy. All the stuff that yeah, it's a lot of stuff that she goes through, and other players go through. It's not just her, but yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. It is a lot, and definitely doesn't seem fun at all. But yeah. Let's see. What else do y'all have to say? JB says, yes, I agree. Quita mid majors don't get their due for the work they do in conference. Some of these coaches are the best in the country, and most don't even know their names. It's a shame. Yeah, yeah. It really is. It really is. But they're gonna get their due. I think, hopefully. Guys, Holly said, everybody stop. In the name of love. All right, Holly says, stop what you are doing and like up this video. Awesome people of the internet. Multiple exclamation points, multiple fire emojis. Yeah, y'all listen to Holly and hit that like button. Y'all stop what y'all are doing right now. That post y'all are making in the chat, stop what y'all are doing right now and hit that like button. That would be phenomenal. Shani says, Quita, I really wanted to see Haley at LSU versus Louisville personally. Yeah, I did too. But we cannot always get what we want. We cannot always get what we want. But guys, I do have a question for y'all. How is your bracket looking? All right. How is your bracket looking? How is it looking? Guys, I really want to know because mine's not looking great. I got to be honest with you. Mine is not looking great. All right. That's what I got to say. Yeah, my bracket kind of sucks right now. It kind of sucks right now. it kind of sucks right now. And I'm gonna pull up my bracket right now so y'all can see how wrong I was on some stuff. I thought I was being pretty conservative about the teams that I thought were gonna win, but no, I was wrong. I was wrong, y'all. All right, I'm gonna share my screens so we can get into it. All right. All right, I want to show my picks and how I did. Okay. All right, I think I am ready to share my screen. Guys, sometimes with this screen sharing stuff, I be all behind sometimes. It takes me a while to start sharing stuff. Oh wait, I thought I was in preview mode. Am I not in preview mode? Okay. All right. Hold on, guys. Okay, here we go. I think we got it. All right. All right, here's my bracket, guys. We're gonna do some live we're going to do some live accountability about me being wrong on these picks. All right, so here's everything I got wrong. So of course I got South Carolina winning, right? Of course that was right. So South Carolina did beat Presbyterian. I picked Michigan State to beat North Carolina. I was wrong, y'all. I was wrong. Clearly, North Carolina and Alyssa Utsby in particular, she was like, nah, Michigan State ain't beating us. Michigan State is not beating us. We about to beat y'all. So North Carolina did beat Michigan State. So now we have the Carolinas going against each other. South Carolina versus North Carolina. I will say that North Carolina did give South Carolina a run for their money. They did. So, I mean, yes, South Carolina should beat North Carolina, but I'm just saying, I'm just saying. All right, let's continue on. I was correct about this next one. We saw Oklahoma beat Florida Gulf Coast. I picked Oklahoma. I also picked Indiana to beat Fairfield, so I was correct on that. I wasn't all wrong. Art Dog says Quita ain't afraid to show her bracket. Yeah, I'm not. We gotta do real time accountability. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll admit to it. Let's go down to Nebraska versus Texas A&M. I picked Texas A&M because I really felt that the Aggies was gonna do it, and they were so close, y'all. So close. Like Texas A&M barely lost. It was like Nebraska was trying to give the game away at times. But at the end of the day, they got the dub, and the Aggies made some mistakes at the end of the game that cost them the win. So I was wrong about that. Nebraska did beat Texas A&M. So they do move on to the second round. I was right about Oregon State beating Eastern Washington. They did beat Eastern Washington. It was a pretty easy game. It was a little bit close early in the game, but then Oregon State was like, okay, yeah, we got it. We got this game from here on out. All right, my next two picks were correct. I said that Ole Miss was going to beat Marquette. They did. I also said Notre Dame was going to beat Kent State. That wasn't like a breaking news pick. That was Captain Obvious right there, and they did just that. All right, so Texas. I had Texas beating Drexel. Of course, they beat Drexel. Alabama versus Florida State. I picked Florida State, but y'all, Bama did their thing, and y'all, Tania Latson, I really like her at Florida State. I really like her at Florida State. She needs some help. She really needs some help at Florida State because she's a very good player. She is very, very good. But I just feel like we're going to see Florida State have patches of being a really good team with possibilities. And then we'll see them continue to lose in the first round. I do think that they do need to really get in the transfer portal and recruit like crazy, because Florida State, they should have in my opinion they should have won, but they didn't play like they wanted to win. They didn't. And besides Tania Latson, she played like she wanted to win. All right, so for Utah versus South Dakota State, of course, I had South Dakota losing to Utah. We don't know what's going to be the result of this game because this game hasn't happened. We are going to see what happens after this. they play at 9 o'clock today. So I will not be live once that game happens. So we will find out tomorrow what happened on that game. We are watching Gonzaga play UC Irvine right now. I am like watching that game right in my periphery right here. Gonzaga's doing their thing right now. So we'll see if they can keep it up. I do have Gonzaga winning that game. All right, Tennessee versus Green Bay. Tennessee did do their thing against Green Bay earlier today. Once again, Rakia Jackson has showed people that she is that girl. And y'all better put some respect on her name because she is going to be the number 3 pick in the WNBA draft, going to my Chicago Sky. All right. I also had NC State beating Chattanooga. They did beat Chattanooga pretty handedly. And they move on to fight another game. All right. So, Iowa State. I was wrong again. I thought that Maryland was going to beat Iowa State. I was clearly wrong because Audie Crooks is that girl. She is that girl. She is that girl. She is that girl. She is the, it was her and Deasia Fair. To me, were the main names that you need to know about coming out of round 1. Because Audie balled out. She had 40 points, a whole 40 piece. She was just, it was easy. It was easy seeing like scoring bucket after bucket after bucket in the second half because Iowa State was down bad. Iowa State was down bad. And it was funny because I was watching the game in the first quarter and then I left. I left to go to my parents' house. And then when I got to my parents' house, my mama was watching Maryland versus Iowa State. And I was like, why are you watching that game? Maryland killing them. And she was like, no, they not. She was like, no, they not. Iowa State came back. And I was like, what? And then we watched Audie Crooks bucket after bucket after. And my mama was like, man, this girl, she get it too easy. I'm like, man, that's Audie Crooks for you. That is Audie Crooks for you. When I thought the game was over, I thought the game was so over that I left left after I left in the first quarter because I was like, oh, Maryland's killing them. This ain't no game. But yeah. Audie Crooks is that girl. Audie Crooks is that girl. All right, so they won. I was wrong. The Iowa State, what do they call it? The Cyclones, I believe, beat the Maryland Terrapins. All right, so let's see what y'all got to say. Nancy said Audie Crooks killed it in this game, but she didn't look that strong in the final versus Texas. In the second half, she played a lot better in that game versus Texas, and also I think she still ended up with a bunch of points. But yeah, overall, Iowa State didn't look that great against Texas because Texas, the way Texas was guarding the guarding Iowa State's guards and the way they were sort of like hampering that entry pass, Audie didn't eat as much in that Texas game. Doug says Iowa State has a great future. Absolutely. Shani says, Quita, it didn't matter. They had 3 girls guarding her and still scored each time. Her stat line was ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, that's what she does. That is what she does. JB said, Quita, you wrong for picking against Audie in this matchup. I thought she'd eat and picked Iowa State because of it. I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. Elizabeth on X says Iowa State knows how to come back. It really shocked me that they lost that bad to Texas. Yeah. Patrick says, can Audie play in the WNBA? Absolutely. I mean, she's a freshman, so she's going to continue to develop as time goes on. But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so I was right about Stanford. Stanford beat Norfolk State. No real surprise there. I had Iowa beating Holy Cross. They did that. I had West Virginia losing to Princeton. I can't say West Virginia name right. I always got to do like the song that I barely know the words to. But that's, I don't know. It's a weird thing about me. Anyway, West Virginia did beat Princeton. I said that I thought Princeton was going to beat West Virginia. Again, I was wrong. That game was earlier today, and actually it recently ended. I was watching that game on TV. It was a really good game. Princeton had it, and then all of a sudden West Virginia picked up the defense and got off to a lead, and it was nothing Princeton can do. But in the last minute or so, I actually thought that Princeton was about to make a comeback. I forgot the girl's name, but she hit a fire 3, and I was like, oh snap, y'all could actually still have some time to come back, but nah, that wasn't the case. that wasn't the case. West Virginia did their thing and got the dub. All right, so I was right about these next two. Yeah, Michaela. Yeah. So Michaela says Princeton had it, but West Virginia broke out the press of blank. Yeah. It was like, I felt like it was at least 3 or 4 in a row where it was turnover. And I was just like, oh my goodness. West Virginia stepped up. And it was very fun to see. It was very, very fun to see. Ms. Peach says, I was disgusted by the comments about Audie on ESPN post. It was ridiculous. I did not see that post. Marcus asked, what were the comments? And Ms. Peach says, mostly fat jokes. That's a bummer. I think, I think that's what happens when you see, when there's people who don't know the game of women's basketball, people who have no idea who Audie Crooks is, and that's the first thing they see, and they just want to make fun of her looks. That's pretty messed up. But that's how people are. That is how some people are, but not us as the awesome people of the internet. Not us. I was correct in saying that Colorado was going to beat Drake. So I got that right, I also got Kansas State beating Portland right as well. But let's hold on to give a shout out to Triple Lex. Thank you so much, Triple Lex, for the super chat. Really do appreciate it. Triple Lex says, not a woman alive can stop Audie Crooks. I mean, Audie Crooks she's phenomenal. She really is phenomenal. If her guards can get an entry pass to her, yeah, she's cooking. She's cooking with gas, y'all. She's cooking. Again, I was wrong about yesterday saying that Middle Tennessee was gonna lose to Louisville. Middle Tennessee was like, nah, we ain't losing. We gonna show y'all. we gonna show y'all and got the dub. So yeah, we will see Middle Tennessee versus LSU tomorrow. All right, continuing on, I had UNLV beating Creighton. They did not beat Creighton, so it is what it is. I am wrong. I am wrong. Also UCLA, I have them beating California Baptist. That game is later today, so we will find out what happens in that one. Regional 3, I did a pretty good job at Regional 3. USC did beat Texas A&M. That game happened earlier today. We also saw Kansas beat Michigan. I was right about that. I said Vandy was going to beat Baylor. Wrong. But It is what it is. Vandy severely lost to Baylor. Also, I had Virginia Tech beating Marshall. That was correct. I had Arizona beating Syracuse, and it kind of looked like Arizona was going to beat Syracuse. But then Deasia Fair was like, let me introduce myself. My name is Deasia Fair, and I am very good. I am that girl. And y'all, this girl, Deasia Fair, took over this team for Syracuse. Took over and scored. I think she scored almost every bucket in the last couple of minutes for Syracuse. Almost every bucket. And she was slow walking Arizona. You know how you watch guys in a park and guys in a park and they feel like they on fire, and then they do like the slow walk of death when they like crossing the ball between their legs and going real slow, and all of a sudden they pull up and drain the shot. Y'all, that was Deasia Fair. That's what she did, y'all. I was like, oh my God. I knew that Deasia Fair could do something like this because we have seen her play all season, like this, and even before the season, like the last several seasons, she's been really good. Even before she transferred to Syracuse, when she was at Buffalo, she was really good as well. But it was a slow walk that just. It was a slow walk that did it for me. I was like, okay, Deasia Fair, you in your bag right now. You are in your bag. Man, whoo-wee. I'm just because she's slow. Like, if y'all didn't watch that, I can't. I don't think I can play the clip because I'll get ESPN will ding me. But y'all, if y'all could watch, if y'all did not watch that game, the thing that I think is so crucial for you to watch is it was like not that much time left in the game in the fourth quarter. It was that slow walk. Because Deasia had hit a couple buckets already, and then she started bringing it down the court, and then went slower and slower and slower and slower. Just ball going through the legs, slow walking, jump shot, and like I was like, I hope she don't miss that. And then, poof, just a little step back, little step back. But yeah, y'all, Deasia Fair is Deasia Fair is legit. If y'all didn't know, now you know. And I think this is. The tournament being on ESPN and on the channels that it's been on, I think this has been very, very helpful to introduce fans to Audie Crooks, and this has been helpful to introduce fans to Deasia Fair. Even though I can understand people not knowing Audie Crooks because Audie Crooks is a freshman, but y'all, Deasia Fair has been in the game for a long time, so the fact that people still don't know who Deasia Fair is kind of not great, but you know, this was a great introduction for her. If you didn't know, now you know. She's that girl, and she ain't playing with you. Miss Drama Queen says, I saw it. It wasn't fair, but it was funny. Slow walk, step back. Woo. All money. Nancy says she's like that. She's a sleeper, not hidden, and then she just takes over. Yeah, just takes over. MMA Lifestyle said, I got 4 wrong in the first round. 2 were close. I mean, MMA Lifestyle, you did better than me. You did way better than me. You did better than me. All right, and then for UConn, I had UConn beating Jackson State, so I was right about that. And then I had Duke beating Richmond and Ohio State beating Maine, so did good on that front. Guys, my breakdown is not very good. I missed several games, so let's count how many times I was wrong Let's count how many times I was wrong, because I don't mind admitting I'm wrong. So I got 1 wrong, 2 wrong, 3 wrong, 4 wrong, 5 wrong. Oof, that's embarrassing. 6 wrong, 7 wrong, 8 wrong, 9 wrong. Oh my goodness. 9 wrong. I got 9 wrong, y'all. Yeah, I know. I know. I got 9 wrong, people. 9 wrong. Rough. Very, very rough. Through the lens of Chandra says, Louisville is my only mess up so far. Nice job, Chandra. Nice job. Goodness rated said you failed. I did. I failed, man. I failed. I thought we were going to see more upsets than we have. We've only seen 1 upset, Louisville. They're the only team that has been upset so far, I thought we were going to have some more upsets, I thought we were going to have more upsets than we have, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Miss Peach says, do you have more than 1 sheet? I have 2, but for the most part, my first rounds were identical. I just had slightly different people making it to the Final Four. So I was wrong on my other bracket too, because it was basically the exact same as this for the first round. All right, guys. I do want to give you all a preview of what we can expect tomorrow. Because guys, tomorrow we got some games. We got some games happening today, or not today, tomorrow. And I want to kind of talk about those real quick and sort of preview those games for us. And then I'm gonna call it quits. We're not gonna be on here for long. We're gonna be on here a quick short time to talk about what we need to, and then move on with our lives. All right. So let's take a look at the games for tomorrow. So we will see South Carolina versus North Carolina on ABC at 12 p.m. tomorrow. So this is going to be a fantastic game to watch. But before we talk about this game more, shout out to awesome person of the internet, Frank. Thank you so much, Frank, for the super chat. Frank says, Patreon started today. Let's go. Yes, y'all. Patreon did start. We have a Patreon for the awesome people of the internet. Now, I remember in the past, there was some people who said that I should get a Patreon. So I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna get a Patreon, but let me wait a little bit. Let me wait until we can get more traction on the channel. And I was like, okay, well maybe 10,000 subscribers is a good metric to launch a Patreon. And it was, I think we had like a couple more subscribers to go, and I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just start the Patreon. So guys, we are on Patreon right now. So I would love for your support there if you are able to financially. If you're not, no worries at all. But I do want to give a shout out to the people on Patreon who have already joined me. Shout out to Annette. Shout out to LK. Shout out to Frank. Shout out to Kyra. Shout out to Didi in Tennessee. All the fantastic people of the internet who have decided to financially partner with this channel. Really, really do appreciate it. Really, really do. All right. Country says, what is Patreon? Patreon is a membership platform that allows people to financially support YouTubers. Of course, you can do it through YouTube as well, but it's a way to financially support not through YouTube. So if y'all want to partner with me there, you can do that. All right. Goodness Rated says, congrats on 10,000. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. Doug says Patreon equals money for content. Yeah, it does. All right. So guys, let's talk about South Carolina versus North Carolina. So we saw South Carolina and North Carolina play already. And yes, of course, South Carolina did win, but North Carolina gave them a run for their money. They gave them a run for their money. And the thing that I like the most about North Carolina is that they're pretty unpredictable. They are pretty unpredictable. If Alyssa Oosby can go off, if Deja Kelly can go off, sky's the limit for North Carolina. Now, am I saying that North Carolina is going to beat South Carolina? I don't think it's likely. But we did see them play each other in November of this year. And South Carolina won 65-58. North Carolina gave them one of the toughest challenges that they've had all year. Be it they were away from home. They were in Chapel Hill for that game. They weren't at home, which they will be tomorrow. But still, the fact that UNC got so close before, if I'm a UNC fan, it gives me a little bit of hope that maybe, just maybe, my team can pull up a crazy upset. Shout out to Gary. Thank you so much, Gary, for the super chat. Gary says, supporting Quita, exclamation points. Thank you so much, Gary. I really do appreciate it. Appreciate. Now, Goodness Radio says, I picked North Carolina to win tomorrow. We'll see. So I do want to just quickly walk through what happened in that previous game that we saw between UNC and South Carolina. Again, this game was on the road, so that is something to note. Also, this was pretty early on where I feel like South Carolina was still trying to figure themselves out and figure out how the young players work. Now, remember, this game was one of the games where Don was like, okay, Malaysia Fulwiley, you sitting on the bench. You're sitting on the bench for this game because it was like she was. I think it was like she wasn't really playing defense. What? Okay. Anyway, this is a team that Malaysia Fulwiley, she basically sat on the bench the entire game. She only played 3 minutes, and this was sort of like one of those wake up calls for her that you have to be locked in for the full game, not just being all flashy and whatnot, but actually being there for the whole game. So that's something to note, that she didn't play in this game, and of course, we've seen how impactful Malaysia Fulwiley has been the rest of the scene, the rest of the game. But I'm just saying. Slide pop nip or whatever. First of all, I'm not a hater. Second of all, I'm not even gay, so I don't even understand why you saying that. Third of all, why you gotta be so rude, man? Why you gotta be so rude? I don't understand why you come on to someone's page and then you just want to spread a whole bunch of negativity and just go wild. So I don't know who you are. I hope you have a great day. I hope you cheer up and don't just pop on people's pages being rude. There has to be maybe you had a bad day and now you just want to put your anger or whatever out on someone else. But hope you have a good one. Thank you so much. All right, so for North Carolina, North Carolina, this game was really all about Deja Kelly when they played before. It was Deja Kelly and Alyssa Utsby who have just did their thing in that game, did their thing, and it was specifically it was Deja Kelly who got this team so close to beating the unbeatable. So I'm just saying, I'm just saying, it's not likely that North Carolina will beat South Carolina, but we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. All right. Another game that we will see tomorrow is Nebraska versus Oregon State. Now Nebraska is a pretty good team. They are a pretty good team, but also Oregon State has Reagan Beers. And yes, she I believe she hurt her ankle in that last game. But I think she's going to be fine for tomorrow's game. So if Reagan Beers is out there on the court for Oregon State, I don't see how Oregon State loses, especially because how Nebraska barely beat Texas A&M. I think Oregon State for sure has this. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Nolan, thank you so much for the super chat. Nolan says, congrats on your hard work. 10K, alarm bell, and basketball. Thank you so much, Nolan. I really do appreciate it, my Canadian friend. All right. Yeah, so I do think Oregon State is going to beat Nebraska. And guys, I'm just talking about the games that are happening tomorrow. All right. So continuing on, we see Texas battle it out against Alabama. Now, guys, I was wrong about Alabama, and I thought that they were going to lose to Florida State. They are not going to lose to Florida State. They didn't lose to Florida State, so they didn't win that game. We will see Texas battle it out against Alabama. I do think Texas has this, but we will see what happens. We will absolutely see what happens. Michaela says, I got Nebraska beating Oregon State. One of my upsets. Oh, okay. All right. I mean, if Nebraska can pull off that upset, that'll be pretty exciting. That would be pretty exciting. Michael says, I feel like Nebraska could win if they shoot the ball well. Yes. I mean, that's the key, right? That is the absolute key, is shooting the ball correctly. Like, Nebraska is a good team if their shots are falling. If their shots are not falling, they're not good. And so we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, Texas versus Alabama. I do have Texas winning that game. And that game is tomorrow at 5 p.m. Again, this is Central Time, so just saying. Life is Quay says South Carolina is not losing. I mean, I don't think it's likely that they'll lose, but you never know what can happen. Teams can get upset, so you never totally know. You never totally know. Thank you so much, Bean Up, for the super chat. Bean Up says, my bracket is a dumpster fire, but still enjoying the madness as always. Thanks for the content. Congrats on 10K. Thank you so much. I mean, my Bean Up, if it makes you feel any better, my bracket is a dumpster fire too. I thought we was gonna see more upsets. We haven't seen them, so it's kind of sad. It is kind of sad. We come to see the upsets. That's what we come to see. That is what we come to see. But thank you so much, Bean Up, for the super chat. Really appreciate it. All right. Again, we are just looking at games that are happening tomorrow. All right. Because we actually know the times of those games. All right. We'll see Iowa State take on Stanford. I mean, I cannot wait to see Audie Crooks versus Cameron Brink and Kiki Iraofen. I cannot wait. Absolutely, I cannot wait. This is going to be very, very fun to watch. But guys, this game is going to be at 9:00. So maybe y'all could take a nap or something at some point tomorrow so y'all can stay up and watch this game. But yeah. Shout out to Dark Marble. Dark Marble says, new subscriber, go Tigers. Yesterday was March the 22nd. Tomorrow is March the 24th. Friday is behind us. All right. So Tigers fans are looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a really good game against Middle Tennessee, which we will talk about in just a sec. Yeah, Iowa State taking on Stanford. I do say Stanford is going to win that game, but I want to see Audie Crooks eat. I want to see her eat. I want to see her absolutely dominate in the paint. Yeah, I think it'll be really fun to just see her go against the bigs of Stanford. Thank you so much, Donata, for the super chat. I really, really do appreciate it. And Donata left a message too. Says, love you, Quita. I don't know how to work super chat help. I think you just did it. I think you just did it. Thank you so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Wow, Michael, congratulations. Michael says, I can't believe that my bracket is at 99.9%. If Louisville didn't throw that huge lead, it would have been perfect. Man, nice job, Michael. Nice job. Nice job. Annie says, Annie here, I'm a new fan from Mexico. Caitlin Clark brought me to the NCAA women's basketball world. I don't care who wins. Love watching the close, crazy games, although I'd love to see Iowa win because not many think they will. Well, awesome. Annie, I am very, very happy that you have been introduced to women's basketball, women's college basketball, and yeah, I'm glad Caitlin was able to be that introduction for you. I think Caitlin has been an introduction for a lot of people to the NCAA, and I think it's fantastic. So yeah, I don't think it's likely that Caitlin and Iowa will make it extremely far. But you never know what's going to happen. Yeah, I didn't think they were going to make it as far as they did last year, but they made it to the championship game. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. JB says, I think Audie will get hers, but she'll have to work for it. Brink and Kiki are tough in the paint. Yeah, they are. The key is for them to stay out of foul trouble. Like, that's the key. to defend her without fouling. I mean, because that's how you're going to get her to miss. You got to foul her. And you got to make sure you don't get those fouls called on you. K2 Shy says, congrats, Quita, on 10K. Just subscribe. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for subscribing. I think Cameron's guarding Audie. I think Cameron's guarding Audie. Thank you so much, Miss Drama Queen. Really appreciate the support with the super chat. Miss Drama Queen says, we love you, Quita. To the awesome people of the LSU fans, do not hate South Carolina. We just LSU fans do not hate South Carolina. We just hate their fans. So it's a fan feud happening right now between LSU fans and South Carolina fans. I mean, I will say South Carolina fans are passionate about their team. Passionate. Like they're like similar to like the UConn fans of old that were like very, very passionate, very vocal about their team. And not everybody likes that. but appreciate you, Miss Drama Queen, for the super chat. And Miss Drama Queen is making it clear that LSU fans don't dislike South Carolina. They just don't like their fans. That's all. if that's all. Oh man. Written 12, thank you so much for the super chat. Really do appreciate that. And thank you, Donata, for another super chat. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Bree Bree says, okay, we don't like y'all LSU fans. Oh man. Oh man, that's funny. Okay, so yeah, so it's like, okay, LSU fans don't like South Carolina fans, and now South Carolina fans, well, we don't like saying, well, we don't like you neither. We don't like you neither. Michaela says, I feel like no one actually hates a college women's team. They just hate their fans. I mean, you may be right about that, Michaela. You may have a point. I think you may have a point on that one. I think you may have a point. It's the fans that people don't like. It's not the players. It's the fans. Kentucky Lucky says Iowa fans versus South Carolina fans for an obnoxious award. Oh my God, that's funny. That is that is funny. Maybe in the future I'll do a awesome people of the internet awards, where we give out funny awards to different teams and different players and all that stuff. I think that'd be kind of fun. So maybe next year we'll do a awesome person of the internet NCAA awards edition, where we can give out funny awards like that. I think that'd be a good time. Let me know in the chat if y'all think that would be a good time. All right, continuing on with the games, we have Colorado versus Kansas State tomorrow. And yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty big battle. I think it can go either way. I'm going to give the slight edge to Colorado, but we will see what happens. Then we have Middle Tennessee versus LSU. I think LSU will beat Middle Tennessee. I think I think we will for sure see LSU beat Middle Tennessee. They played atrocious in that last game, but I think they're gonna fix it. And this game's gonna be on ABC, so if they don't, they're gonna get embarrassed on ABC. So we're gonna see. All right, and then we have Baylor versus Virginia Tech later in the day. I think Virginia Tech is gonna get it done for at least one more game, because remember, they are at home for this game. And then we finalize the tomorrow's games. I think this is actually the first game of the day. We're going to see Duke versus Ohio State. I think that Duke actually could possibly get the upset. It's a stretch. It is a stretch for Duke to win. However, Duke has phenomenal defense at times. When they decide to turn it up, they have some phenomenal defense, and we will see what they can do. But for the most part, Ohio State's going to win. So those are the games that are happening tomorrow. But just as other second round games, we will see Syracuse versus UConn. The way DeAsia Fair played today, who knows? Maybe Syracuse will beat UConn, and that game is actually going to be on Monday, not tomorrow, which is Sunday. That game will be on Monday. I think Syracuse possibly could get the upset, but for the most part, I'm saying I picked UConn to win. But who knows? We also will see USC take on Kansas on Monday. Now USC is balling, and they just look really good. So of course, I do believe USC is going to beat Kansas. They're going to make it pretty far because they're just that good. Creighton will likely play UCLA. Again, UCLA versus California Baptist is later today, so we will see who wins that game later. But I do think that UCLA will beat Creighton, will beat California Baptist, and then will beat Creighton on Monday. So that game will be on Monday. So to sort of read this right, if you do not see a date next to the round 2 games, that means that game is happening on Monday. So hopefully that helps you guys. If you see a date, so like this one says 3/24, that means that date is the game is happening tomorrow. The reason why they don't have a date and time for these other games is because they have to see who actually makes it, who actually wins all the rest of the game. So then ESPN can determine what channels they want the games to be on, and then when they determine that, they'll also determine what times they want those games at. So that is why there is no date and time for like this game in particular, and all the other games that are not happening tomorrow, is because they have to figure out timing, and they have to figure out the actual TV network. But they will all be on Monday, right? So all of these other round 2 games will be on Monday. It's just they didn't officially put the date on it yet, but we know the date. We just don't know the time, and we don't know the platform. Again, with that Iowa West Virginia game, Iowa, I believe, is going to beat West Virginia. Again, it says TBD because it's happening on Monday, but don't know the date, or we don't know the time, and most likely it will be on ABC. They'll probably put this Iowa West Virginia game in prime time because everybody wants to see Caitlin Clark and see what she can do. Other games include we will see Tennessee versus NC State. I am very much excited about this game. I believe that, yes, NC State is ranked better, but I think Tennessee is gonna win this game. I have Tennessee winning, because I mean, Rickea Jackson. that's why. That's why. We also will see Gonzaga likely play Utah. Utah plays South Dakota State later today. Most likely, they will win. And then we'll see Utah versus Gonzaga. I think Utah will have that game against Gonzaga. Gonzaga's fun. They're a really good squad. But I think Peely is just going to be a little bit too much for them to handle. And then Ole Miss versus Notre Dame. Now, guys, y'all remember, I had an upset on this one. I had an upset alert on this one. Ole Miss will beat Notre Dame, in my opinion. That's just what I think. That is just what I think. Oklahoma versus Indiana. I don't know. Toss up. I say a huge toss up, though slight edge to Indiana. All right, and then we already talked about South Carolina, North Carolina. Darnell, thank you so much for the super chat. Darnell says, who do you think will win it all? And please answer the question. Do not take the high road on this, and why. We just want to know your thoughts. Well, I said who I said it before who I thought was going to win. I first of all, thank you so much for the super chat. I said that South Carolina is going to win this. In my opinion, we will see South Carolina winning the NCAA championship. That is who I have winning. And why? Because they are just the better team. They look better than everybody else in women's college basketball right now. They are the absolute better team. I think even if they have a bad game, they still could pull out the win. That's just how good they are. That's just how much depth they have, that even if the starters decide to lay an egg, there's still bench players that can come off the bench and ball out for South Carolina. And I think Don Staley's a phenomenal coach. So those are the various reasons as to why I do believe that South Carolina is going to win the entire thing. Can they still get upset? Yes, they can still get upset. Who knows what's going to happen. I said that South Carolina was going to win last year. That's who I had to win the championship last year. But they lost in the Final Four. So yes, I do have South Carolina winning it. They are on my bracket as winning it. The version 1 bracket as winning it. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But I do have them winning. I just think they're a better team. I do. I just think they're a better team. But yeah. All right, guys. That is basically the stream. We've been going for about an hour. I didn't want to make this video too long. Yeah, because we got so I have a recap to make for tomorrow. I have a recap to prepare for tomorrow. So guys, tomorrow I will be putting out a recap. Hopefully I'm gonna try to get it done. Because tomorrow I got church tomorrow. So I gotta have it done before I leave for church, which means I basically have to have that video done by like 7 a.m. And there's some late games tonight. So we gonna see. If I can get so if y'all saw earlier today, I put out a recap of day 1 of women's college basketball, day 1 of the NCAA tournament. What I consider day 1, even though technically there were the first 4 games, but this is really the official day 1 or yesterday was the official day 1. So I did a recap of all those games. The goal is to do that again for tomorrow. I will try to get that done. But yeah, I will try to get that done. Michael says you streaming tomorrow. Yes, I will be streaming tomorrow. The exact time, I am not sure. I'm not sure the exact time. Because for the most part, I think people tomorrow are going to want to talk about the South Carolina North Carolina game and the LSU game as well. So maybe I'll go live. When is that LSU game? Maybe I'll go live at like 4 or something. Yeah, maybe I'll go live at like 4. So we can talk about those games. T-Dub, thank you so much for the super chat. T-Dub says, barely anybody's getting got. I feel it in the next round. Thanks for the great coverage, Quita. Appreciate you. I mean, it's coming. We got to have more people than just Louisville getting got. More people got to get got. Like, let's go, people. Let's go for the upsets. Teams, y'all need to show up and show out and make some stuff happen, man. Make some stuff happen. Adrian says, Quita after a late night, just don't sit in the front pew. I don't sit in the front pew. I sit like on the 4th or 5th row, I think. On the side. My bracket looking horrible. That's how my bracket looking. My bracket is looking horrible. I'm just saying. It's looking bad. It is looking bad. Loki said, man, ain't nobody watching that LSU game, Quita. LSU winning that easily. I mean, I think they're going to win it easily, but we'll see. I also thought they were going to win against Rice easily, but they didn't. So, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But I feel like just in general, I feel like like a lot of folks who join in, especially for the live streams, want to talk about either Iowa, South Carolina, or LSU. So that's just my assumption that people gonna want to talk about whatever happened in the South Carolina game and whatever happened in the LSU game. Country said Betts is not playing tonight due to a foot injury. Okay. Breaking news, guys. Thank you so much, Country, for the info. I still think UCLA will win. I still think they're gonna win against California Baptist. That game has just started. It is on ESPN2. So guys, I am going to in the stream here. We are going to I'm gonna walk the dogs, and then we're gonna watch this UCLA California Baptist game. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for rocking with me. Appreciate y'all, and until next time, guys. Bye.